This is Boss Hogg Radio, home of Born to Ride Radio.
I was born to live, live to ride, ride to live. I was born to ride. American built, we forever unite, and that's the deal. I was born to
This is Boss Hogg Radio, home of Born to Ride Radio.
Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Everyone was right, I was born to ride.
Born to Ride is a multimedia marketing and promotional machine with TV, magazines, streaming radio, and internet advertising opportunities. There are tens of thousands of motorcycles. We reach the people who ride them. Born to Ride. Find out more at borntoride.com.
This is Boss Hogg Radio, home of Born to Ride Radio. You can join the motorcycle enthusiast conversation by calling 863-225-2000.
And welcome to, oh, yeah, that's your mic there. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hogg Radio Network. I'm Fester Jenkins in the studio here by myself. I got DB. He's going to be operating Facebook Live for me tonight. Appreciate you being here, DB.
Not a problem.
I don't know what we've got going on tonight. I mean, I'll be honest. In other words, I'm clueless with the exception of, we'll be able to talk a little bit about what's happening this weekend here at the Plant City Farm and Flea Market, facility.
Which is going to be a blast.
It's, busy today. In fact, that's where Mama Dukes is. She's working on finishing touches. They started bringing in vendors and setting things up. There's going to be a food lane, and we've got street signs. Okay?
Oh, yes.
Do you know what they're calling that lane? Do you know?
Yes.
Did you hear?
He actually showed me some of the signs before he left. David did, and I'm like, man, this is going to be it's going to be awesome.
So anyway, the food lane is Bong Appetit.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Well, they've got a lot going on. That's the reason Mama Dukes isn't in the studio. I really don't know why we don't have anybody else here, to be honest. Okay.
Well, I figured, if we really don't know what's going on and we're, and stuff like that, it could almost be a Southern Symposium episode. 'Cause that's pretty much what we do every day.
We may have to do something. Who knows what it's going to be. Before we get started, though, hey, we got someone on the line. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
You could have called it Munchie's Way.
Munchie's Way. Well, yeah. That is true.
All right, I'll leave you alone.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Meet you at the corner of Munchie's Way and Bon Appetit.
Yes.
Actually, I
absolutely.
think the corner intersection there, if I'm not mistaken, is Cheech and Chong Way and Bon Appetit, if I'm not mistaken. But anyhow, before we get started, want to take a moment and thank Rubenstein Law, your Florida law firm, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Without Rubenstein Law, Born to Ride just wouldn't be able to be around there. So thank them so much for that. They fight for you, representing riders since 1988. And in fact, the website is www.fightforyou. That's the numerical number for you.com.
Yes.
So we got that out of the way, taken care of. Hey, it's only 6 minutes after 7 o'clock. We've got another 54 minutes, DB.
Not a problem.
Okay.
But, I know when I rolled in today, because, I work a daytime job and I roll in here to get ready for our show. I'm getting excited. I see, the candy corn, the kettle corn, and already some food vendors, a climbing wall, bouncy houses. And there was something over there that looks like some kind of slingshot kind of deal, I believe.
I think they're going to have some sort of miniature, slingshot, apparatus. I'm not sure about. I don't know, but whenever they were coming in yesterday evening, I thought it was basically to kind of preoccupy the children, because this is going to be family friendly event, but no, he says no, adults and children. In other words, so there's no, I guess I was thinking maybe there would be like a little merry-go-round, but there's nothing like that there. A little more friendly for, there. But it's my understanding, I guess, for that portion of the event, $20 gets you to all of the amusements over in that section all day long.
That's it, $20.
$20, and you can do whatever you want over there all day long.
Climb the rock wall as many times as you want.
Yep.
And now, see, I don't know. Well, first, I'm scared of heights. So I wouldn't do the rock wall. Most of my excitement with speed now is a carousel. So, but actually the bungee thing is kind of, or the slingshot deal is kind of, it's tweaked my interest. I might jump into that bad boy for $20. Why not? I mean, you probably pay for more than that to get to the one down there in Orlando.
I really have no idea. I've not had any interest to go that high up slingshotting. You do realize that we're talking about in Old Town, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In Old Town over there in the Kissimmee area, it was just maybe a month or so ago, one of the rubber bands broke, and it shifted and got lodged up over. They had to get fire trucks up there, and the two people that were in that cage were there, from what I understand, like 3 or 4 hours.
Wow. Wow. That's probably a second situation where rubber's breaking would be a bad thing.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
That's all I'm going to say. Nothing else. I'm not going to add anything else to that one. But, I mean, I've seen.
Now,
like
which one would you rather be in that predicament with? Okay.
Oh, no. If you're hanging like high off the ground for like 3 or 4 hours, I'd start freaking out.
Well, 3-4 hours versus 18 years. I mean,
Yeah, it would definitely cost me a lot more money the 18-year thing, most definitely.
absolutely. Oh, but yes. Hey, what we're talking about is the Central Florida Cannabis Festival. Mama Duke's presenting. There's live music for 2 days. Oh, let's see here. Hello, Dave. Good evening.
Hey, man. Good evening.
How are you? What's going on the big front?
Great.
What's going on?
I'm great. I was actually watching your show just now.
Okay. So what's going on the big front of Born to Ride Media?
Well, I'll tell you, as has been the case, we have so much going on, and there's this incredible thing that Ron is cooking up. But I guess my question to you, first of all, is, do we have some folks coming on to talk about the Cannabis Fest tonight?
I believe it has been left to me. I've got a short list of dispensaries that are going to be there. There's going to be 2 doctors. I do not have, unfortunately, any of the list of the speakers, but I know that there's professors, growers. So they're going to be doing a Q&A in the lecture pavilion. From that standpoint, if there's questions, things like that. So it's going to be a pretty exciting and, just different event. And what's amazing to me is I hear they're getting phone calls. There's people, in fact, she had a call today where there were a couple driving from Minnesota already on the way down from here. But I mean, I've heard calls from Alabama, Seattle, Washington, Colorado.
People just want to get out and have some fun.
I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah. And I would guess that they'll probably have all the CBD oils and all the different tinctures and stuff like that for people too.
Yes, there'll be the CBD or the CBD along with the dispensaries for. I guess there's the hemp dispensary, Liberty Health Sciences, Summit Labs, Your CBD Store, the CBD Storm LLC, or Original Bud Buddy, and Mindleaf, and Schmacked.
Wow.
So those are some of the dispensaries that are going to be here.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I actually worked for a company for a little while that was doing a lot of CBD product out of Kentucky, because they have the best soil. They have the best soil. That's where all the best tobacco came from for a very long time. And all the local farmers switched over to growing hemp, And so I actually learned a lot about that stuff and how it works. And it really does do an amazing job, to manage pain. People that have back pain, stuff like that. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I mean, I have oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I also was calling in because of the Born to Ride Great American Moto Fest. Now, you guys know about that, right?
I was here with Ron and some of the gentlemen that were looking over the property. And yes, that is coming up in July there. Yes, that is going to be the next big event that I suppose we will be involved with there.
Yep. Hot on the heels of Choppertown Live. The return, I guess you'd say it's the return of the biker rodeo, because that's, people love that. They have such a good time doing all the rodeo games and everything, and it's such a good idea. So Born to Ride's Great American Moto Fest is going to be July 24th, folks, and that's going to be at the lush and palatial Boss Hogg Ranch, and that's in Plant City.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, most definitely looking forward to that. Met the guy that ran or worked with the Easy Rider rodeos. In fact, he's trying to get the Easy Rider bar stools to where the guys, you can pay and get your buddies and you can race the bar stools against your buddies there.
It's a hoot. Let me tell you what, it is a hoot. If you haven't seen this, it is absolutely hysterical because they really do look like bar stools. And there's just, some wheels underneath them and a motor, and people are zooming around, and you've got a little steering wheel. So you have a real tight radius of turn, and you can just go crazy on these things.
I'm looking forward to that. That's something that I haven't personally experienced, in some of my events. I was up there at Angel City last weekend, and there were a lot of unique and interesting things there. Actually, there was a guy that had a cooler motorized. Okay.
Yes.
He was right. It kind of, other words, I don't know if it was, but I mean, it was motorized. He was just riding around on that looked like about I'm going to say a 48 quart cooler.
And all he needed, you just had to pop the lid on this cooler to get him a beer.
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. We had those as well. Those were fun, and there's just so many different great sort of rodeo games that have been turned into motorcycle games. That should be a huge fun event. So nothing but good. And another thing I was going to talk a little bit about is in the next issue of Born to Ride, which of course will be the May issue. We've got a great article about Xavier Muriel, who is a kind of an unusual character. He's a rock and roll drummer that was in the band Buckcherry for years. And he became, he's always been a biker and been into motorcycles, but he became a bike builder. And now that he is not with the band anymore, he's building bikes. And this guy is really good. He has amazing bikes that he's built. He had the bike of the year a couple years ago at our Easy Riders bike shows. And he's also been in Cycle Source with a lot of his stuff. And he built a bike, a custom bike he built from scratch that's going to be given away at that High Seas Rally biker cruise. So you got sort of the best of both worlds. You got a cruise to the Caribbean and a whole bunch of unruly, surly bikers on board, probably having a few too many libations, and you can win Xavier's bike that he's built. That is just a beautiful thing. So we got a neat article about him and where he came from and what he does, and some pictures of the bike and all that kind of stuff in the next issue of Born to Ride.
Oh, looking forward to that, most definitely.
Yeah, so that'll be a good time. And other than that, it's the usual madness because Nefarious James will always have his column that he does that is pretty cool, and just the usual bag of tricks that we have every month.
Now, but even with the Cannabis Fest coming up this weekend, isn't Born to Ride doing a drive-through bike show this Sunday?
Sunday, FTW will be sponsoring a drive-in bike show. There'll be again rods, trucks, and then motorcycles. So, in other words, there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of something for everybody from that standpoint. Now, FTW. I don't have, I believe, the details for that, if I'm not mistaken, as to, but I think if I remember correctly, it takes $20. You can ride your bike in, enter $20, and you can be entered into that. But FTW is sponsoring that bike show there.
All right, FTW and Joe the Welder.
Joe the Welder.
Yes,
yep.
Absolutely.
Joe the Welder.
Fantastic man.
He was calling right whenever we were starting the show, and I don't know if we had a disconnection or what was happening there, but so I'm not really sure if but he was calling on my cell phone, not on the studio line from that standpoint there. So. But
I could do Joe the Welder for you if it was.
Oh, man, it feels like you've been gargling glass when you talk that way.
But that was actually kind of convincing. That was actually pretty good.
That was a pretty good likeness there, Dave. I'm impressed. Yes. But next weekend, it's Panama City.
Oh, nice.
That's right. Yep. That's got you Thunder Beach up there in Panama Beach City in Florida. Things are starting to open back up. At least in the South here. I'm not sure, where else, Dave? I mean, you've got your pulse on the entire country from that standpoint when it comes to bikers.
It's very different depending on where you are. I would say in the whole country, the areas that continue to be the most free as far as bikers are concerned, like going to events and that kind of thing, as you would suspect, a lot of it is still pretty good down where you guys are in Florida, and certainly in the Tampa Bay area. And in Texas, I have a lot of friends down there. You know, Rick Fairless runs Strokers Dallas, and he's doing great business. You know, it's like it depends where you live as to how tight things are right now still. And, you know, where I am up in Oregon, it's probably tighter here than it is where you are. But it's not as bad as areas of the Northeast. So it's just different state to state, and a lot of it has to do with how many cases are still being reported and that kind of thing. But it also has to do with who the governor is and how much that people can kind of get away with having, you know, a motorcycle rally, for instance. Because, you know, Woody and our friends in Sturgis, they put on a hell of a Sturgis last year, you know, with the whole thing going on.
With the thing going on, they still decided to go ahead and do it. Then that was great for the community. I mean, in other words, and I watched that, and I was curious to see if there would be a spike, or if there would be problems. And I think it went off pretty much from my observance of just kind of following it, Dave, without a hitch. I mean, in other words, it wasn't a big, I know there was a lot of people, I guess the media was referring to it as a huge super spreader.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, my take on that is that the general media is always going to do their damnedest to push an agenda, you know, if it bleeds, it leads kind of thing. And so if there's any way they can twist something to make it more, you know, worrisome to people, if it's sort of feeding fear to the masses, they're going to do it. And so if there had been a real problem with Sturgis, we would have heard about it every day for weeks. You know,
that was my feeling and take on it. Was, had there been some real leads or something, that would have been in all the newspapers and everything, because they were certainly making a big deal of it before and while it was happening. But kudos to Sturgis for having the gumption to be able to go ahead and have it done, and supporting it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's my understanding it had a very great turnout. In other words, I don't know that it was the biggest and the best, but it was a very respectable turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. People wanted to, you know, people get so tired of being cooped up that, you know, bikers especially, they want to be out there riding their motorcycles. And so if there's an event, I mean, you could see that, I'm sure, at Choppertown Live, is people came out, had a great time, there wasn't a problem, right? I mean, not bad.
Well, no, that was an awesome event. Looking forward to. I had a great time, like I said, up there in Georgia at Angel City last weekend. Must have been, well, there was thousands of people there on that 100-acre facility. A gorgeous facility. Have you ever been there, Dave?
No, I've not.
You've got to check out Angel City sometime or another. Whenever you're in this area, just go by, visit Wayne, and let them look. I mean, in other words, in fact, Joe the welder just stepped into the studio. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
And Joe was there with us over in Angel City.
What a
I mean,
good time.
Awesome facility, awesome people. And those Georgia boys know how to party, I'll tell you that.
Right behind my camper, they did.
Well, I mean, that just kind of
professionals.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just kind of goes to prove that, which this Cannabis Fest is coming this weekend, it's an outside event. You know, be reasonable. Don't, you know, crowd up on somebody, but it's nice, fresh air. You're getting some great sun, stuff that's good for you. I mean, there shouldn't be any issues whatsoever. Nothing to worry about.
No, not at all. Yeah, that was quite the... I'm sorry. Hey, Dave.
Hey, how you doing? I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here, too, man. I had to hurry up and rush out. I was doing work and looked at the time and was like, oh, my God, they're going to kill me again.
We'll save that for later.
Okay, Fester.
Hey, it is about 25 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. Why don't we regroup here, take a moment, pay a few bills, and, do the necessary stuff that we have to do to keep this radio show going. And we'll be back with more of Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hogg Radio Network. Hold on, Dave.
Okay.
Check out the all-new BornToRide.com with radio, TV, industry, adventure, events, magazine, social media, and much more. It's the all-new BornToRide.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Find us on Facebook, Born to Ride TV and magazine, the ultimate multimedia biker experience.
You can join the motorcycle enthusiast conversation at 863-225-2000. Now, here's more of your hosts, Fester Jenkins and Mama Dukes on Born to Ride Radio.
Well, I am Fester Jenkins, and welcome back. Mama Dukes isn't in the studio today, and why am I only hearing oneself? Or is that you too?
Yeah, I'm only hearing one side.
Why are...
And Mama Dukes is here. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
There we go. Now
There
there
we
we
go.
go. Okay.
There's Mama Dukes.
I mean, I don't have the equipment to be quite as eye appealing as Mama Dukes, but I'll try.
Well, that was one of the things that there were, yes, there were many vendors that started showing up today to set up for the event this weekend. And whenever she'd go up to them, she kept coming back saying, boy, that is not how I pictured Mama Dukes. You know what I mean? In other words, they did not.
What, they expect somebody that weighs 250 or something?
They expected it to be a big old mama, I guess. I don't know. But it seemed like universally a lot of the people that had been talking to her for the past several weeks, and of course these people coming from out of state, different parts of the state. And, but universally, it just seemed like, wow, that is not how I pictured Mama Dukes. And DB, don't ever impersonate Mama Dukes, okay? Dave, in fact, let's get back to Dave here. Dave can do a good job of impersonating a lot of people, okay? He did Joe the Welder while you were driving over here. Yes, he did a good job there, Joe.
I got to hear this.
Come on, do another Joe the Welder, Dave.
All I did was talk like this.
It's perfect.
You're the man, brother. Oh my goodness.
Well, one of my favorites is to do Clint Eastwood.
You don't talk to a chair when you do that, do you?
I'm not against it. Well, hey, did you guys hip to this thing going on with Harley right now?
One more time, you kind of broke up there, Dave.
You guys know about what's going on with Harley Davidson right now?
No, what's going on?
I haven't heard, I don't think. Lay it on us.
They have been slapped with a tariff for imports to the European Union of like 56% tariff.
Wow. No, I had not heard that.
They are, of course, challenging it legally. But, yeah, this happened just a couple days ago. They've been, having bikes over there, and they pay a 6% tariff. But now they're subject to 56% to bikes they sell in the EU, apparently.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know. Well, and it's just at the worst time because they're showing off a lot of new bikes that like that new Pan American bike. That's something that they thought would do very well in Europe. They've got a 300cc, a little kind of like a smaller Sportster-looking bike, like a little bobber-looking bike.
Wow.
That they're selling to India and different places, and so I mean they are trying to do everything they can, but it looks like they're going to have this legal challenge now with the EU.
Wow.
Well, just to let you know, if and I'm sharing it on the Facebook Live, if I'm having to pay an additional 50%, 56% on the sale of when I buy a Harley Davidson over there, I want what normally comes with a picture.
Okay. In other words, you want the model to come with it?
I want the model to come with the bike. Can I have that, please?
Yeah, what's his address? We'll send it to you.
No kidding.
That's ridiculous, Dave. I mean, they're
I
expensive
just
enough.
wondered if you guys had heard about that, but that's just happened a couple days ago. So
I had not heard that yet.
Yeah,
You heard it here
mounting a defense. Hopefully they're hoping by July they will, be able to squelch that. I guess I don't know.
Wow.
All right, so Joe, real quick, Joe DeWelder, while you're here, what are you bringing for the festivities this weekend?
FTW sponsoring the Born to Ride bike show here on the facilities with the Central Florida Cannabis Fest this Sunday. Tell us about it, Joe.
Well, I'm bringing Skylar with me. She's my apprentice. Excellent job.
Why you went straight there? Why couldn't you mention the bikes first? Tease us a little bit.
Prettier than the bikes. And let's face it, sex sells. But no, she's going to help me with the judging on the show. She's been doing very well. We did a couple major shows, and she did very well. She's building 2 bikes right now, so what better chance to, have her look around and see what's out there, what other people are doing. It doesn't always have to be my idea. But we have a 5-class bike show we're doing. It's a $20 entrance fee. We have trophies and plaques, and it'll be fun, We got
So 5 classes. Let's go down the classes here, okay?
Daily Rider.
Daily Rider.
Best old bike.
Best old bike.
Hold on one
second. Wait a minute, I thought, this your contest?
Yeah, it is, but it was just giving me.
It's all right, I understand. I'm sure it's been a busy week for you, just like everybody else.
There's a reason that he's called Joe DeWelder.
You got the duh part right.
That's why we're the Southern Symposium. Absolutely.
We're definitely brain dead. That's what I like to say. All right, here we go. Let's see. Where are we? We have Best of Show, a bagger, old school, everyday rider, and Judge's Choice. So be nice to Skylar now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, now Skylar, is she going to be bringing her trophy from Angel City?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't think we wanted to go there, but she won the wet T-shirt.
She won Saturday night's wet T-shirt contest.
Oh, see, you didn't share that with me. You're holding out on me a little bit.
A lot of things we didn't share.
There's a lot of things we can't share on Facebook Live from Georgia.
Literally, I told you before you left for Angel City, I said, do not send me any pictures.
And I didn't.
And the only picture you sent me was you sitting next to that poster with Bernie Sanders.
Well, you told me not to send you anything. So.
You didn't see my wink when I said that? I was winking. Yes, exactly.
They had quite the turnout there, though, in Georgia.
It was an awesome event. I enjoyed myself. Beautiful facility. Wayne Smith's doing a fantastic job up there.
Wayne's cool.
Yeah.
He's very cool. He was king of the castle all weekend. They propped him up on top of the monitors for the wet T-shirt contest. We weren't sure if he died.
Well, I mean, but if you're going to die, that would be a good way to go out.
He was judging. He would know. But, yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I was glad to see Mama Dukes and Fester there. We had some good times, man.
Great event. Absolutely. Had a blast. Well, looking forward to doing it again sometime or another. In fact, saw some of my riding buddies some of my riding buddies locally. And he says, yeah, I've heard about it, but I hadn't. I said, well, we got to plan on sometime just going up there, because I think they'll enjoy it. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a great time. Had a great time.
There too. You can go a couple different ways.
Absolutely. It's beautiful country, rolling hills, southern Georgia. Yes. Somewhere between Tifton and Macon, Georgia.
Real close
I'm
to
going to say maybe, they said 5 miles off of interstate. I think it was more like 2.5 or 3 miles.
Even that.
It wasn't very far off of interstate.
But was it kind of like a remote location, kind of like Daytona would be in a city? Was it kind of like a backwoods remote location kind of deal?
It's backwoods. 100 acres
that's nice.
and farmland around it. So, in other words, it was, you could just get out there and do whatever you wanted. In other words, it was.
They had to chase a couple of them Georgia boys away from the cows.
There wasn't no sheep running around there scared, was there?
No, there was an awful lot of curly-headed kids. I digress. It was definitely fun. I had a blast.
Great fun. Absolutely. Let's see. I believe we've got someone else on the line here now. Let's see if we can come to him. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello there.
Well, hey, Gary.
You guys were doing impressions earlier, or you were at least attempting to. I do one impression. I have one impression that I do. I have an impression of Elton John.
Okay.
He's gay.
Yeah. Okay. That's
okay
true.
Today.
Well,
yeah.
You're
That's my impression.
You're very intuitive, Gary. You're very intuitive.
I never knew that. I am totally surprised.
Gaydar is in the rig, my friend. Boom, 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 boom. How are you all?
Just fine. How about yourself there? Where are you at this evening?
Well, I am in Covington, Georgia.
Okay, so you're working your way towards Panama City.
I am. I had to disconnect from the world for a little while. I went back home to Kentucky to do some turkey hunting, which was very successful. And, you get out in the woods and just enjoy God's beauty. And springtime in Kentucky is absolutely beautiful. And we had an incredible hunt, and we had a great day on Saturday. Sunday, we knocked one down, and my buddy knocked one down opening day. And now we're in Georgia spending some time with the grandkids, where I'm actually at a little baseball game. He's 5 or 6 years old. So, I love watching the little ones out there playing ball and developing their skills. It's a good time.
Well, that's awesome. Awesome. Well,
I heard y'all earlier. I heard Dave mentioning this earlier, and I only tuned in probably through half of it. I'm pretty sure he was talking about the High Seas Rally. From someone who was actually on the rally, obviously they didn't have it last year, and they did it the year before. I was performing on the rally the year before, and I encourage anyone who is in the biker lifestyle to get on this boat. It is the most fun, and again, I know I've been on the air with you guys for the last 3 weeks, and I'm trying not to be cliche, but the High Seas Rally was probably one of the highlights of my entire career, 33 years worth. The people on that boat was fabulous. The guys who put the whole High Seas Rally together was fabulous to work with. And I hope Chris is listening right now, because I really am trying to get back on the cruise for this year. And if I don't get on this year, maybe next year or next time they have the cruise, we'll work something out. But the reason I want to be on there so badly is because it was the most fun, the most exciting, the best time I believe I've ever had in my entire career was on the High Seas Rally, man. It was a really, really good time. So I encourage anyone that's never been on a cruise. This was my first cruise. If they've never been on a cruise, for them to check it out, man. It's an awesome time.
Absolutely.
Well, Gary, I'll tell you one thing. If you go this year, this will be your
Yes,
new
sir.
high point of your career this year.
Yeah.
Dave and I are both
Well-
going, right, Dave?
I hope so, man. I
Absolutely.
mean, I would really. I've sent. I had to do a little local TV show back in Panama City. I guess it was last week, and I just found myself immediately talking about the High Seas Rally because it was so much fun. And again, I hope Chris is listening, or maybe someone could call Chris and say, "Hey, dude, you need to get Gary back on there." You know, I know Trace Atkins. He's going to put on a hell of a show.
Yes,
I
he
know
will.
the guys at Molly Hatchet and the guys in Foghat are all friends of mine. Matter of fact, Brian Bassett, who's the guitar player for Foghat, I don't know if you all know this or not, but he actually wrote and performed with the band Wild Cherry, Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
Ah,
Really?
okay.
Yeah, man. Brian Bassett, the guitar player for Foghat, did that, man. And I would love to be on a cruise with those guys, and I definitely want them to come to one of my shows because that would be hysterical.
Well, speaking of your shows, Gary, next Thursday evening is April 29th. You're going to be at the Wicked Wheel, right? In Panama
Yes,
City.
it is. Yes, it is. I'm so excited. A week from today, Wicked Wheel, a place called The Barn, which is right next door. Doors open at 8:30. Born to Ride magazine proudly presents the world's only biker comedy hypnotist, myself. And we've got Kevin Jacobs and Otto Portalupi opening up. LA Audio, Tropical Spas and Pools, Hurricane Oyster Bar. They were so gracious to help put all this together. You know, April and I were talking, and April's my fiance, but she's also one of my showgirls. And Joe, I hate to tell you, man, she probably is going to outdo your girl at the wet T-shirt contest. I paid a lot for those boobs. I'm just telling
They're
you.
all natural, but I'll tell you what.
Well,
You know, it'll be a great competition to watch anyway.
Absolutely. I don't even watch anymore. I'm there for security and to count the money afterwards.
well, Gary, now I think Tater's been working this week, and we think we've pulled it off. And I believe, and we're going to make this announcement, that Mama Dukes and I will be there, and we will be doing our portion of the Born to Ride up there.
Rock on, man. That's exciting.
We want to be sitting with you. We're going to be calling in here to the studio. DB will be in. I don't know if Ron and Debbie will be in the studio here, but we plan on Mama Dukes and myself being there with you come 7 p.m. next Thursday at the Wicked Wheel, to where we can kind of, do the show from there and give you then looking forward to watching your show there.
Dude, that is amazing. I'm getting goosebumps right now. Thank you guys so much. I'm telling you, Ron and Born to Ride magazine has been an absolute godsend to work with. I'm so excited to be a part of Born to Ride, and I've got another show coming up, or we're working on it back home, and I can't wait to do this. It just warms my heart that they even called me. It's actually going to be in Lexington, Kentucky, Bikes, Bourbon, and Bluegrass. It's the Hogg Rally at the Man of War Harley-Davidson. We're working on that. I'm this close to locking it down, and of course, Born to Ride is going to be a part of that. I've already got them stuck up on my banner, and I would like to say a big special thank you to CycleFish.com. Lucky is awesome. Motorcycle Mayhem Radio, those guys are great. And Just for Fun Radio, 38 TV. April and I were talking about this, that we have put together such a wonderful team of people. And it all started, and I'm not trying to blow sunshine up anyone's derriere. I'm just letting you know that this whole thing started because of Ron at Born to Ride. When I called him and told him what we were doing, he said, absolutely, I'm a part of this. And, dude, I'm excited as I can be. Now to know that you all are going to be there and we're going to do the show together, I am thrilled.
Well, we're looking forward to
so
it.
much.
Joe, are
Well,
you
it's
going to
gonna
be
be
there?
fun.
Or
I'm going to try. I might have to stay here and hold the fort down.
Okay,
I'm not sure,
well.
but that's up to Ronnie. If Ronnie
I mean, I think
would love to go.
I think we ought to take everybody and just leave DB here in the studio by himself to man and get it out.
You know,
now he's looking at.
Wait a minute, are we looking for a train wreck?
Somebody's got to stay, DB. Someone's got to operate.
How to handle it, DB. It'll be all right.
Didn't DB mention last week that he was a moron? So
Yes.
Yeah, I am a self-declared moron. I will admit it.
He resembles that remark. Now, take it
I
easy.
think with the technology that we're going to try and pull off next week, we might ought to have Tater in here helping you. What do you think?
That might be a wise choice. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And Joe, you just sitting there mentioning that somebody's got to lay the fort down and you're going to have to work. My reply to that is quit.
That's why I'm my own boss, to tell you the truth. At least I know he's a moron going into it, you know. If I stay, it's my fault, nobody else's. But no,
Man,
I'm going to try real hard to get there.
If anyone is listening right now that's going to be at Thunder Beach and PCB next week, I encourage you all to come up and talk to me. I want to shake your hand. I want to meet you. I love meeting new people, and I cannot wait for you guys to come down to do this show. Doors open at 8:30. Show starts at 9 with Kevin and Anna. We're going to have an audio demonstration from LA Audio, which we're going to be giving away a light kit from LA Audio. Larry Adams is award-winning. He's going to do fabulous. And then the lovely Miss April and I, and I meant to tell you this. I should have started with this. Biker chicks, lots of biker chicks. And some sexy mamas, too. I'm just here to tell you, I don't do anything half-assed, so I'm going to have some pretty sexy mamas up on stage with me. So April and I will probably go up around 10:45 or so, and we're going to hypnotize some people. And if you've never been to a hypnosis show, whether it be me or anyone else, I encourage you to go to a hypnosis show. It is the most fun. It's amazing to see. Even I get just sidetracked because I'm like, wow. I can't believe this is actually happening. You know, I'll make people forget a number. I usually make them forget the number 2. I make them forget where their mouth is. Oh, and I apologize for last week. Mama Dukes asked me a question, and my bell tone wasn't turned up probably that high, and I didn't understand what she was saying until I watched the video. And she said, is the hypnosis the only thing that I do up on stage? No. I am a magician, so I'm going to incorporate magic, and I'm going to do a little bit of stand-up comedy, crack a few jokes, and most of the stuff I make up as I go along, and then we're going to get into the hypnosis and make it a very entertaining show.
It sounds like it'll be fun, man.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it. I was really pleased that Tater, figured out a way. I think we're going to be able to, again, like I said, we'll have video feed that we'll be feeding to you.
Yes.
So we'll be able to do it Facebook Live and through the terrestrial radio also. So, I mean, we're going to pull a little bit of magic, and, this is going to be our dry run, but we're looking forward to it definitely up there in Panama City.
Sounds like
You know what I'll try to do, and I don't know. I won't know until that morning because, as I've said, I'm in Georgia now. We're leaving Sunday to go back, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I am up to my ears in alligators trying to get everything put together. Because I want it to be perfect. But if we can, I will try to set us up a table up on stage. Because as I say, the show doors don't open till 8:30, so we'll have time to set the table up on stage, do your broadcast from there, and then enough time for us to pull everything down and get ready for the show. So that would be very cool.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like it's going to be great there.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's not for lack of promoting it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So I have a question real quick. So you're a biker,
and
I
will make up an answer.
Okay. So you're a biker, hypnotist, and musician. Now, if we can change your name to Mr. Magic Mike, would it be okay if women start throwing dollar bills on the stage?
Well, you could do that. Of course, I haven't seen Mr. Winky in about 3 months, so I'm going to have to lose about 50 pounds before that ever happens, man.
So it's Mr. Little Magic Mike?
Yeah, emphasis on the word little, my friend.
Sorry.
And I'm going to tell you right now, no, hold on a second. You brought it up, so I have to run with it. So if you're concerned about the size of Mr. Winky, I want you to go to any sex shop in the country and walk into the Winky section. And if you're not comparable to that dude, I hate to tell you, you're just sorry about your luck.
Oh, I've only been in one of them one time, and I blushed and I walked out. I turned about 4 shades of red, just walked out. I said, I can't handle this. This is too much.
Yeah. Dude, I know this is a family program, and I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I'm sitting on my tongue right now, man.
Sorry. I'll take all that
I am
back.
biting my lip.
I got so
tongue.
much
I may not be able to speak
material
because of
from that TV.
Dave, you got any
Back to that
questions for
moron
Gary?
No.
Wow. I was able to shut Dave up, too. Holy crap.
Man,
I'm sorry.
you shut the commander down, man. Wow.
By the way, Dave, I sent you a friend request on Facebook so you can kind of see some of the antics that I do just about every day, which I think you'll thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, man, I sent it to you. I didn't know if you knew who it was or not. I mean, you look at Gary Michaels.
I may not have, because I don't go on Facebook very much anymore. I just find it kind of annoying, so I don't really go on Facebook much. But there's a lot of annoying stuff on Facebook, but unfortunately, the way of the world right now, Facebook is the best way to promote stuff and to get your name out there. And what I do every single morning, I will get up and get creative, and I will write a joke every morning. Something maybe the day before inspired me, something that Miss April said has inspired me, and I'll just write one little joke all day long, and I've been doing it for the last, 4 or 5 years. And if I miss a day, oh, believe me, people tell me about it. Well, what's the joke of the day then?
Today, I don't know.
Yeah.
Today's the day you forgot to do it.
No, I didn't forget to do it. What did I say today? Oh, yeah, this was something that I would say if I was ever a flight attendant. Your seat cushions can be used for flotation. And in the event of an emergency water landing, please take them with our compliments and paddle for shore.
Good luck with that one.
Right. We were talking about, it's funny, is April's, the show in Lexington, Kentucky that I hope that we get the very next week is her birthday. It's her 50th birthday, and I asked her if she wanted to fly to Vegas. So that's kind of where that inspiration came from.
Very good. Happy 50th.
How many big bodies of water are there between Kentucky and Vegas?
They might have a lake or two. I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, dude, we ran into somebody in Panama City at the, I think Miss April had to go into the Dollar General for something. I don't know, just something last minute, sort of late at night. And there was this woman in there, and I swear to God, she was on Flocka. She had to be. And she was pulling stuff out of her purse and couldn't find any of her money. And I'm looking at April and looking at this dude behind us going, what in the hell is going on right now? And she looks up and she says, isn't that naval base Tyndall around here somewhere? I looked at her and said, no, baby, they moved back to Oklahoma. There's a whole lot of diving going on out there. And she looked at me and she went, cool.
Wow.
Oh yeah, she was definitely on something, that's for sure. I will tell you guys this: is Miss April is so upset. Well, she's not really upset, but we would have loved to have come to the Cannabis Festival. Even if we weren't doing a show, we would have loved to have come down there and supported you guys and supported Mama Dukes. But obviously we had to. She doesn't see her grandbabies that often, so we had to stop in Georgia on the way home before we do that. But she really wanted to come.
Totally understand that. Family first, man.
Hopefully the
Family
next time.
first, yeah. God, family, rock and roll, and radio has always been my motto.
Oh, you're one of them religious fellas, huh?
Well, I do thank God every day, man. He's been showing out, and I thank God for Born to Ride and talking to Ron and all my sponsors. Here's the funny thing, and I really shouldn't say this, and please don't misinterpret me.
Oh, I will.
I'm trying not to. I'm sure you will. I'm trying not to sound arrogant or egotistical, but there's a lot of people in Panama City that said I could not pull this off.
Oh,
They said the venue we couldn't get because all they do is nonprofit stuff. They told me I could not get the sponsors. Nobody wanted to support it. And I actually ended up with $1,800 more than what we needed to, meaning I'm paying everybody else more money. And if you all know as well as I do, if you got people that are working for you, if you take care of your people's going to take care of you.
Absolutely.
And I'm giving all the best promotions that I can for my sponsors. I'm going to take care of my employees, because if we ever have to get around to doing this again, they'll be more apt to want to do it.
Yep.
So, and, I've got Born to Ride. I mentioned Born to Ride in even on this 38 TV. I know Randy over at Full Throttle. I mentioned Born to Ride when I was talking to him, and all my sponsors, obviously, but I cannot thank Ron enough. From the very beginning, Born to Ride has pushed this thing along, and I could not have done it without them.
Well, Ronnie's a good man. He's a personal
that's
friend.
because you hypnotized him, though, right?
Well, I tried, man.
I definitely want to keep you around, man.
Dave, you can hypnotize people over the phone, dude. Would you like for me to call you after the show?
Sure. Actually, that would probably be a real good thing for me.
Well, have you met me before? Do you have any idea what I may make you do?
Nobody knows.
I'd be like one of those sleeper cells,
It'd probably be one of those dumb luck things where you got them under and then the line disconnects. You know what I mean?
That's funny that you say that, and I think somebody mentioned that, I don't know, last week or whatever, or the week before. If that happens, and it has happened before, when you're on Skype or Zoom or whatever, and you're hypnotizing someone over video, and the connection dies. Okay, so what happens after that? Absolutely nothing. Actually, I say nothing, but one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to snap out of it within about 10 or 15 minutes and look around wondering what in the hell's going on, or you're going to fall off into a regular sleep, not a hypnotic sleep, but a regular sleep. So will you stay in hypnosis? Absolutely not.
But will you wake up when the sun comes up, start growing or something?
Well, some people will. Some people will. There is such a thing called a hypnotic coma. Okay,
I'm in one all the time.
And what happens is these people get so relaxed, they get so hypnotized. I mean, their body's just jello. They fall out of their chair, and you can't bring them out of it when you want them to. So what you do in that case is they're so relaxed and they feel so good. Their body just feels, it's a profound relaxation and a wonderful feeling. You literally have to get mad at them to get them to come out.
That's a good question. Talking about, so it sounds like if you were to say hypnotize someone that every time they saw a cat, they started barking at the cat like a dog. That can't stick. That's TV nonsense. Then is that what you're saying?
TV, yeah. What you see on TV is not. There's a couple of movies out there. What was this one movie that somebody told me? We were talking about hypnosis, and the first thing he was talking about was this movie called Get Out, and it has a lot to do with hypnosis, and none of that is true. The closest thing to a movie that was absolutely fact, The Manchurian Candidate, I think, was the name of it. But that was real. That was when the military years ago were hypnotizing people to do what they wanted. They wanted to build a perfect soldier.
Right.
And it takes years and years and years and years of hypnosis daily, hourly, just constant pal driving it into their brain before they will ever do anything like that. And that was a true story, because later in life, the people that they had done this to actually started remembering all these things that they were doing, and they sued the government and won.
Okay. Wow.
They should.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on again, Gary, and looking forward to being up there in Panama City next Thursday with Born to Ride Radio. And
I cannot wait to meet you guys Thursday night, 8:30, Wicked Wheel, the barn. Going to be an awesome show. I cannot wait to meet you, Rob.
Appreciate it.
Hurry.
Thanks so much, Gary.
I'm going to give Fester my phone number. Call me when you get a chance. I want to speak to you.
Okay. Dave, any parting words?
Hey, everybody be good out there. Keep the rubber side down, and more fun Born to Ride stuff coming at you every damn week.
Like a hurricane.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Well, that does it for another edition of Born to Ride Radio on the Boss Hogg Radio Network. I'm Fester Jenkins. I've got DB and Joe the Welder in the studio with me. We've had Dave Nichols and Gary Michaels on the phone. As always, keep it in between the ditches. Be safe. And until next week, have a great time.
If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
Yeah, I have to say, Born to Ride has been a big influence on my trailer sales in the last 2 or 3 months. It's been nothing but a big surprise. I mean, the magazine articles, everything in the commercials, it's been nothing but the best of help to me in my business.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.
This is the Boss Hogg Radio Network. 1170 AM WKFL Bushnell. 1330 AM WWAB Lakeland Plant City. 1360 AM WHNR Cypress Gardens Winter Haven. And 1390 AM and 107.5 FM WAVP and W298BU FM Avon.